Hello, welcome to Pins and Patience. My name is Jeremy. This is the second part of building the Officer's Duty jacket that you would see in Star Trek Nemesis and DS9. In our first part, I showed you the front of the jacket. Now we're going to be working on the back. We have our four panels here. We have our side back right, center back right, center back left, and the side back left. All of our seam allowances are going to be 5/8 of an inch running up on top, and then 3/8 of an inch going into the curve of the arm side, and then of course 3/8 of an inch connecting these two here. As within all my videos, I'm only going to do one on camera. I'll do the second one off camera, and then I'll lay it out, and then you can see the final product. Now, as for stitching processes, you can do it whichever way you want, whether you want to sew the two centers together, whether you want to sew a side and a center together, whatever you want to do, doesn't really matter. At the end of the day, you've got to sew these two together, and then you got to seal this seam in the back. So I'm going to start with one of the sides, do this side off camera, and then I'll zip up the center, and then we'll come back to the camera and you'll be able to see the final product. We're going to start our pinning here on the bottom edge, and we're going to be working our way up because that is the direction that we're going to be sewing. Once again, 3/8 of an inch here, and nothing special, just going to get into it. The pinning's all done, and if you noticed, I did take some time, and I did make sure that I was lining up these edges. I was lining up these edges as even as I possibly can. Once again, during my last instruction class with my sewing instructor, she hammered into me that your mock-up, your muslin, is just as important, if not even more important, to get all of the steps correct and make sure all of your measurements are correct. That way, once you do get to your main body and your actual build fabric, you're not going to have as many upsets as if you only rushed this part of the build. Okay, over to the machine. At the machine, you're probably going to be wondering, hey Jeremy, what's this thing? Why are you using this? Isn't this supposed to be for your button holder? Absolutely correct, it is. But the one thing about my machine, and I have no idea why, when I use this foot, it doesn't pick up the very edge of the fabric. Now, I don't know if that's a defect or if that's the way it's designed. Either way, it's a bit annoying. However, using this guides the fabric all the way through to the end, so I can make sure that I'm putting a stitch right at the very, very end, or at the very beginning of my fabric seam. Once again, straight stitch, 3/8 of an inch, and away we go. Everything is stitched up as always. I did some pressing off camera. The seam is looking great. 3/8 of an inch. I'll flip this over so you can take a look. Again, nice and pressed seam. Of course, you'll see the fraying edges here. And again, when I do get to my final build fabric, I'll definitely be zigzagging or overcasting each free edge to making sure that this does not happen, because once again, I don't own a serger. All right, I'm going to get some other stuff going on here, and I'll be right back. Welcome back. As you can see, I've got everything put together here off camera. I also did some pressing, and then I also did up this seam here. So this is our back panel complete. Now with these two spaces down here, this is where the bottom, I'm going to say the bottom facings are going to go. So that'll be later on down the road. Also, just so you know, I'm not going to be doing the bottom facings for my mock-up. I don't think it's necessary. Again, the other side, so these are the wrong sides here. We've got good 3/8 inch seam allowances. Now, I did say that it's important to do everything as best as you can on your muslin, because you want to have that correct for when you go to your good fabric. Now, I don't know if you can see it, but this panel is actually lower than this panel by, I'm going to say, about 2 millimeters. So now, is that going to cause a huge issue? Probably not, but at the same point in time, if I can notice it and I can see it, then you know what, I need to be a little more careful with my lining up of my panels. So there you have it. The back panel is complete. If you've watched the previous video, you would have seen the front panel being complete. The next steps that's going to happen, I'm going to attach the front and the back yokes. So I'm going to take the back yoke, attach it to this guy, and you'll see that in the next video. Bye for now.